we've got an image. So you can see the cool skin I found for a Harrier that is like late 80s style of skin. And as you can see from my loadout, I'm loaded with Rockeyes. On this side I have a Sidewinder, on the other side I have a sidearm. Let's go check the F10 map. So this is actually one of my first flights testing a template I've made at Wiesbaden here. I've put in like a refueler with a basket, a refueler with a boom, and AWACS, so that like next time I want to fly from this airfield, I won't have to put all of these in. So it saves a little bit of time when you're editing missions. Now for this flight, my waypoints are the ones going here. So we're going to be heading to that location for our IP, which is to line us up with our first target, which is an SA-6 site that has previously been hit by friendly planes. The radar will therefore be eliminated. It won't be shooting back at us. But since we're close to Fulda, on the airfield here they have an active SA-8. So as you can see, my flight plan sort of goes through their circle. Maybe we'll have to beam it a little bit so that we don't get attacked by it. So we'll have to keep that thing in mind. And I've also put like AAA with question mark. There are a few AAAs in the target area. So the idea is to get in fast, drop our bombs, and get out quickly without being destroyed by the enemy. As you can see, there's a helicopter there. There's the SA-6 site. As you can see, there's two launchers that are still there. And over here, there's a repair station. Like as you can see, there's a road there. So probably like the two of the launchers made their way, SA-6 to this station here, which as you can see, there's lots of sandbags, and it's like hidden in a little forest area there. And so that's our secondary target. So what I'll try to do is line up these SA-6 and trucks, support trucks there, to drop my Rockeyes in my first pass on this target, and then line up with that little forest area here to drop some more Rockeyes there, and we'll try to get out of the area. If we see the helicopter, we might engage it. It's not a priority. I brought my sidearm in case I have to engage the SA-8. I think there's also a ZSU-23 there that I could use it on. And so these are some of the weapons I've practiced with today, so I brought them with me just in case. But mostly the mission, the primary target, is to destroy the two launchers there, the two launchers there, and if we can destroy some of the trucks, infantry, and whatever else is supporting them, that's a bonus. And then we'll fly back to Wiesbaden. And so I'll go back to the cockpit here. So we're starting in a hangar, and it allows us to see like the beautiful hangars that we have here on the new Cold War Germany map. I really like this map, and so I'm gonna unpause this here. And so one of the first things I figured I would do, because when I was practicing this afternoon, sort of had to get back used to the different stores that we carry and how to set them up. So what I'll do is I'll click here on the 20, and by default it's set on automatic, and I'm going to be dropping them in CCIP, so I want to set that up, and then I want to set that for the primary fuse. So for these bombs it's not too complicated. I noticed for the Mark 82s there were lots of fuses that I couldn't remember, and I ended up just using the nose fuse. But for these, CCIP primary, that's kind of good. And we'll see if I can remember how to use this map display and everything that comes with it. And for my radios, what I've done is on comms 2 for channel 2 on comm 1, I've got 264, which is the frequency for our AWACS, so I'll be able to call the AWACS with that. And on COM 2, my first frequency is on Wiesbaden, which is the airfield here. So if I've configured my comms properly, I should be able to request taxi to runway from here.
Dodge 8, request taxi to runway.
Alright, so we're cleared to taxi to runway 8. So as you can see, I'm in this hangar right here, and this is runway 8. So I'll probably just taxi on the taxiway and get on. Since I have a short takeoff aircraft, I probably won't need the whole runway, so I'll just take off from there. And so that's the plan. I just want to check a few things. I like to do the jump takeoff, so I set this up to about 60. This is good for now for the lights. Also played with my autopilot a little bit this afternoon, so just to remember how to use it properly. And so if we remove the parking brake, there we go, we'll see the plane starts moving on its own. So we'll hold the nose wheel steering button and we're going to start taxiing. I put a few little objects here as decoration. So yeah, if you want to see what the plane looks like, it's got a nice 80s vintage look about it. Here there's like some munitions depot of some sorts, and I parked like 2 soldiers right in front there. Makes it look like it's an important place. They're guarding the gate. Alright, so we're getting to the runway. So I guess we'll just call the tower to see if we can take off.
Dodge 8, request takeoff.
Are they listening?
Dodge 8, request takeoff.
Okay, so we're cleared for takeoff. Let's check. We've got flaps on auto. That should work. And so let's get lined up on the runway and get ready for takeoff. Looking good. And let's give it full throttle. So we're going to speed up to about 140 and we'll do our little jump with the nozzles. There we go. And we're jumping in the air. Gear is coming up. And we're slowly going to bring the nozzles pointing towards the back. There we go, like this. We'll get our flaps up. And we're starting to pick up some speed. That looks good. We're going to bring the nose towards our waypoint. I guess at this point we could switch to nav mode. Nice little plane going by. Earlier I played a little bit with external lights, and when I turned them off with the L key they wouldn't come back on, so I'll just turn them off manually here. I don't know if we'll need them again, maybe when we come back to land, but it's one of those things, I guess. Sometimes you gotta wonder. So let's call the AWACS just to see if they spot anything.
Magic 1-1, Dodge 8, request bogey dope.
Another thing we can see here on the HUD is that we have a lot of Hawk systems behind us and an E3. Those are all part of the template I used to make this mission. I don't have to put SAM sites, I don't have to put like the AWACS, so it's nice that they're already in the mission. So I'm trying to climb fairly high, even though the clouds, I'm getting close to them. I guess they're probably like around 15,000 feet. It's just that if I fly fairly high, maybe the SA-8 won't bother me. The missiles can only reach a certain altitude. And so maybe I'll be able to do my first pass without being bothered too much if I fly fairly high. Now, I didn't hear anything from the AWACS, so let's try that again.
Magic 1-1, Dodge 8, request bogey dope.
Try something else here. I had another key earlier set up for that comm. I don't know.
Magic 1-1, Dodge 8, request bogey dope.
It doesn't seem to want to work. I might have to check if my AWACS has the correct frequency. Maybe I forgot to set it up. Find it fairly surprising because I always put my AWACS more or less on the 264, and that's what channel 2 is, so interesting. Alright, so we're still 27 miles out, so what I'll do is I'll turn my autopilot on, altitude hold on, and I'll accelerate this a little bit. I won't accelerate too much because I know that once I get close to the waypoint, the SA-8 will become active. There it goes. So we'll try to go at normal speed at this point in case he fires at us. On auto. Okay, so now I'm being lit up. So what I'll do is I'll just cut across. I'll get autopilot off, and we will switch to waypoint 2 right away. I'm gonna go a little bit to the right. To see if I get a visual on the airfield where that SA-8 is. So if I can't see it easily, I guess it's because I'm far enough from it. But yeah, that's the town, I guess, so it's probably just a little bit behind. Yeah, I know I took out the autopilot. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're very close to our targets, so we're gonna switch to air to ground. Gonna try to put the nose towards the target and try to see if we can line it up. Okay, so there's lots of objects there. I'm gonna try to line up these vehicles there, and we can see this is the other target area there. Okay, that seems good. So let's make a right turn and go drop a few Rockeyes. Very hard to see the targets. Drop 3. Alright, so we've got nice fireworks, and I think we got the targets we wanted there. Oh, and we've got some AAA. I forgot to arm my these things there. Let's try that. There we go. So we can see there's a AAA shooting below us there. That looks like a big S60 gun. What I'll do now is I'll switch to the other waypoint so that I can attack the targets that are close to the town. That direction, there's the waypoint. So it's that line of trees, so I'm going to turn left and I'm going to try to line up with it. Ooh, had a little bit of a stutter there. Okay, we're lined up. So that's my target area there. Looks like a target-rich environment. Bombs, bombs, bombs. We're getting shot at, so try to get out of the area. Okay, so I think I got like my first bombs fell a bit short, but oops, something's lighting me up. Is that the SA-8? Yeah. He's not very happy. Trying to see here if I need to go drop the rest of my bombs. I think I saw a truck in the field there, and there are a few things remaining there, so I'll try a pass like this with my last 2 bombs. And then we'll just get out of here. Because that SA-8 is starting to be a bit of a menace. Where's that truck? Yeah, there's that truck. Bombs away. Tell you what I'll do. I'm going to arm this. And we're gonna go point our nose towards the SA-8. There we go. So we'll now head west. Continue climbing. And we can set up our next waypoint. Let's go back to nav mode. One of the things I found weird this afternoon is when you shoot a missile, not a missile, but a bomb, it seems to designate a point on the ground, and then your waypoints don't seem to want to collaborate. So that's why I was playing with that DSG button. Okay, so that autopilot didn't work, so let's try this again. There we go. I think because I only have the one sidewinder left on one side, it's making it a bit heavy on that side. So now we're 30 miles out. We still have a lot of fuel. Because I'd like to practice a short landing, we're gonna start dumping fuel. And this is something I find fun. You see those two lines behind my jet? That's the fuel that I'm dropping right now. If I stop the dumping, no more lines. It's just the engines thing. But if I start it again, you get like those gray lines appearing. I do want to be pretty light if I want to do a short landing. I'm curious to see on the map, just for fun, as I'm on autopilot, did I get that SA-8? Looks like it's still alive. The radar is down, but it might still be capable to fire. I don't know. Usually if you hit it, you see the radar is still up, even though it's not turning anymore. It's been damaged. Alright, so I guess we've dumped all the fuel that we can dump. We're still probably going to be a little bit heavy, so we're going to have to fly for a little bit.
Caution, caution.
So we're going to remove the autopilot. Start descending. So this is... what's it called? I forget the name. Frankfurt. Yes, Frankfurt is there, and Wiesbaden is just behind it. Usually somewhere over there. what I did is I put my waypoint for returning home on the big parking as we look at the little tower down below us in Frankfurt. So yeah, I put the last waypoint, I think, in the big parking area so that I'll be able to just land on the parking area instead of on the runway. Since this thing can technically park just about anywhere, right? Right. I'm gonna go full throttle, not because I want to go fast, but because I want to burn fuel. Is that the last waypoint? Or is there another one? No, there's another one. Yeah, that's it. So that waypoint, you can see this is the runway, but I've put it in the big parking area there. And so what we'll do is we'll fly there, we'll continue burning fuel, and once we're close by, we'll slow down the Harrier and try to do like a short landing. Should be an interesting landing with an uneven weight. Maybe I should have gone to hunt for that helicopter to get rid of that Sidewinder. Alright, so we've burned quite a bit of fuel. We should be okay, I think. So let's start slowing this down a bit. We'll get our air brake out. Did that work? Maybe I'm too fast, I don't know. Try this again. Not having luck with some of my controls today. Just gonna check if it recognizes it at least. Ah, yeah, see, it's doing that again. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Ah, there it is. Okay, let's try that again. Now we hear the air brake sound and we can see it under the aircraft there, going in, coming out. That's a bit better. We'll get the flaps down on auto and we'll start turning. Okay, so now we've reduced our speed. I guess we can bring the gears down. Now I'm going to remove my stopper that I had not removed after takeoff because I want the full motion on this. So now the gears should be down. We've got the flaps going. We're going to change to VTOL mode. It's going to help us a lot. And probably at this point I'm going to go full flaps and start bringing the nozzles back a little bit. That's going to slow us even further. So we're heading for that big parking to the right of the airfield right here. Should see the circle in the HUD pretty soon, or will we? No, maybe not in the VTOL mode. I think we don't have it.
Out.
Okay, so now I'm gonna need my concentration. Wouldn't say it was the prettiest one, but I think it worked. Looks like we didn't break anything. So that's always good. And we're almost in a parking. We went a little bit long. We'll turn around and get ourselves on one of those yellow lines. There we go. We can set the parking brake. Can bring the nozzles to the regular position. Start our lazy shutdown. And as the plane is going to shut down, let's go check our F10 map again. So this was, okay, I had like this little Jeep I had put there to allow me to see what's around. Okay, so
failure. Flat.
So this is one of the launchers we got. These are the supporting trucks, and this is another launcher. So that was on the SA6 site. As you can see, the straight flush radar had already been destroyed.
Fuel control. And
so we're hearing Bitch and Betty talking about what the... Oh, you can see there's one of the SA6s there that's still alive. So we got one of them. We got a lot out of the trucks, but not all of them either. I thought I had that one earlier, but I didn't. So yeah, could have done a little bit better on this particular site, but hey, we got 3 out of 4 launchers. I'll take that. What I could have done is do a few strafe runs with my gun and maybe tried to hunt for this guy. But I'm happy with what we did. It was okay. So for a guy who hasn't flown the plane in a while, I thought it was pretty satisfying. I practiced a little bit this afternoon, dropping the Rockeyes, the Mark 82s, shooting the guns, and the sidearm that we just fired a bit earlier. I was luckier this afternoon. I was able to get the ZSU-23 with it. And yeah, so that was fun. Hope you enjoyed. Let's get this canopy open so that we can get out of there. And the little steps have come out of the airplane, so there we go. Cool handout.